Hi everyone, it's the EnglishSimmer here, and today the kids of The Sims 4 are finally getting the attention they deserve. I decided to make a video going over all of my favorite custom content for children within the game. It's been a while now since the Sims team decided to stop giving us like actual things that relate to kids and just kind of convert the adult heads, for example, down to children, so it doesn't really feel like kids are getting their own unique styles. And a ton of you have asked where I actually download my CC from, so today that's what we're going to be going over. Starting off with johnnysimmer. Now, I absolutely love johnnysimmer for actually the masculine hairs, not even just like masculine hairs, the shorter hairs that they kind of create. I think the hairs look so good. They're probably not going to be for everyone's style. Also, just as a disclaimer, all of this is going to be like maxis match or kind of towing the line of maxis match, because that's personally the custom content that I use. So if you are an alpha user, I apologize, but this video probably isn't going to be super helpful to you. I say towing the line because I do feel like sometimes the hairs that actually have like a lot of strands and a lot of details, sometimes they're not the favorite of everyone's, but I actually really love how like messy and also realistic they look. If you don't like the strands, there are actually options like with and without strands, so feel free to download the no strands. It doesn't look like a lot, but these are like little packs of conversions that have like 3 hairs in each. It's definitely gonna help to fill out your kids' create a sim catalog. Moving on to one of my more recent faves. Now, I would definitely consider Cerberus as kind of being a little bit more alternative. There are a lot of kind of gothic looking hairstyles and also a lot of like mullets. You don't want every Sims kid looking like a copy and paste of each other. Cerberus is definitely for you. Now, Cerberus has actually, I think, left the custom content creating realm. However, if you go to their Google Drive, there are actually a bunch of hairstyles and kid conversions specifically. They've converted from other creators as well. So there's a few from A. Harris Britt, who is one of my personal favorites, Daylife Sims, Dogsill, Rue is also listed in there. Again, if you download every single one of these, it proper fills out your catalog. Naevys Sims is a creator that does really nice custom content, maxis match for kids. There are also different versions of dumps. Basically, take like EA ones and then add to it. So it's that kind of like slight variation in different hairstyles. Usually they focus on like the same texture, but they just have like different ways to wear your hair, which I personally really like when it comes to hairstyles, because that definitely means you can like mix and match over different categories and you don't always have to have the same hair. Oh, the Molly hair. I got a little shout out. Next up, we have ravensim. If you have been struggling to find infant hairs specifically, I know this is like more focused on children, but Raven actually does an awful lot for infants. Truly carrying infants on her back in the back carrier, but also has stuff for children and also toddlers thrown in there as well. I actually don't right now have any of Raven's stuff within my game because I actually didn't know that people were making stuff for infants. And to be fair, the series that I'm playing the most right now is probably my Short Lifespan Legacy, and so we don't have infants for very long. I kind of wish I had found Raven before I finished growing together, because these hairs are just so adorable. Look at the little sprout. The frog hoodie. I need to download it. I just need to go through all of these and download every single thing. We have one of my faves returning. I feel like I haven't checked out quirky-introvert stuff in like a really long time, but I kind of like when a custom content creator kind of like fades into the back of your head, and then every so often you get reminded, and then you're like, oh my word, I get to go on a mahoosive shopping spree of one of my faves, and I'm absolutely gonna be doing that with a quirky-introvert. Quirky basically makes hairstyles for all age groups. So anything that they kind of make for an adult, they then also convert to children and then toddlers. So you really do get a really nice spread. If you have a sim who like absolutely loves doing their hair a certain way and you want them to have that hairstyle like for their entire life, then Quirky definitely has you covered on that front. Just really perfect hairstyles. I feel like done done to such a high standard when it comes to Quirky's create a sim style, and I absolutely cannot wait to get my hands on every single one of these. Also, Quirky kind of loving the rebrand that we went through here. Love this. There are so many. I'm spoiled. Quirky-introvert, if you happen to stumble across this video, is there just a place where I can download every single hairstyle? Because I just want them all. Now, I have a confession to make. I don't really use the Sims resource anymore. Honestly, like the ads and everything and just like the waiting for downloads. I know you can sign up for like VIP, but I just think that like Patreon and Tumblr pages are so much easier for me to actually like cope with and deal with. But Nords is actually a featured artist over on the Sims resource and has a bunch of different hairstyles for kid Sims. It's actually pretty easy to find which ones are for kids because they just have for kids after the title of the hair. In my opinion, not the best place to download custom content, but those are the prices we have to pay if we want to give our kid Sims personality. Tag yourself, I am a chaotic mess, but maytaiii actually not only just creates like clothes for kids, which I'm kind of focusing on hairstyles right now, but we will get into the clothing. So if you're like, where the heck is this? It's coming up. Don't worry. This isn't just about hairstyles, but they do actually do an awful lot of conversions when it comes to kid hairstyles. So these are hairstyles made by like these specific creators, basically taken from adults or like teens and above, and then converted to children. And conversions are actually a really good way to find kids CC. One, they're kind of uploaded in like dumps, which means you actually get like a fair few hairstyles. Like here we have like what, 4, 8, 12 hairstyles at like a click of a button, and there are a fair few sim dumps by maytaiii. So definitely check these out. Absolutely loving the mullets on the kids right now. Like the mullets and the shag cuts, these all look so flippin' cute. Conversions are actually some of the easiest pieces to find when it comes to custom content as well, because you can literally type into Google kids hairstyle conversion Sims 4 and you'll get a ton of like different links to different conversions that a lot of people have done. That's how I came across these ones by gegesims. I love the baby hairs like all around them, and then also like the curls in the front and at the sides. They're so flipping cute. And you also know that they already are probably going to look good because they've already existed for adult Sims, and obviously a lot of people have probably downloaded them in the past. Another hair conversion, simstrouble is absolutely one of my favorite custom content creators when it comes to hairstyles in The Sims 4, and chewybutterfly has actually gone in and taken a lot of simstrouble hair conversions. Usually these all follow like terms of use, so don't think people are stealing like other people's content and then just making it available for kids. That is not the case. This one actually specifically says all credits 100% go to simstrouble. Like it literally says simstrouble all over it. I didn't make these hairs whatsoever, just basically made them smaller for kids, which is actually also a lot of work. So chewybutterfly, I'm gonna give you the flowers that you deserve, because I got curious and I read a guide on how to actually make conversions for children, and it's so much effort. There are so many steps to it. So doing it this many times over with like custom content hairs is a lot. Kind of moving on to the creators that do a good mix between hairstyles and clothing when it comes to children. We are starting off strong with Kiara Zurk. If you are browsing Kiara Zurks, make sure you look out for the free ones unless you are like a paid VIP member, and there are a ton of hairs. However, Kiara Zurk also makes clothing as well for kids, and I have to say I absolutely love Kiara Zurk's clothing. They basically just convert stuff that we get for adult Sims. As you can tell, they recently did like for rent with a lot of the stuff that came with that, which obviously means again that the quality is already there because it's all like in-game stuff already. They're just doing the hard work to actually make it available for kids. So if you know that you use this stuff on your teens and above, you know you're probably also going to use it on your kids if it matches their personality. And this is the reason why I always say I don't feel like I need preteens, because I have good custom content, and also the way that I play, I usually play on normal or long lifespan, so therefore my kids have phases. They have periods where they're super into things. For example, they could be super into like anime and drawing and like only want to work on the activity table for like 1 week. And then they could be super into video games the next, or like super into space. So I kind of have my kids grow up in that sense rather than it just like depending on height and like pre-teenhood. I just give them different interests that kind of correlate to where I see them in the aging process within my brain, and custom content definitely helps to do that. Also, not only just feminine stuff, what I also like about Kiara Zurk is it's super easy to actually make your way around their website. Like, finding things is so simple. Definitely more for feminine tag stuff rather than masculine tag stuff. We are following on tradition when it comes to The Sims 4, which is unfortunate, but there are also things for masculine Sims as well, which I appreciate. Another one of my faves, and also so much choice when it comes to kids clothing and also kids hair, is powluna. I discovered powluna, I want to say like early last year, and I have not looked back since. However, I will say right now, the website is glitching out for me. I don't know if it appears this way for everyone, but usually there are like images so you can see like what you're actually like checking into or like downloading, which currently aren't loading, which is definitely unfortunate. So what I usually do is click into the Tumblr link, and I download on Patreon because I am currently boycotting sforz. Simiracle is actually extremely interesting because a lot of like the hairstyles that Simiracle creates are definitely alpha and definitely look like they fit more into The Sims 3 than they do into The Sims 4. However, a lot of the clothing is kind of a little bit more on the Maxis Match side of things. But they do also convert stuff that comes in EA packs, which is why I feel it's more on like the Maxis Match side when it comes to clothing. You know that this overshirt and this utility sweater are absolutely my go-tos. I use them all the time on adult Sims, so of course I'm gonna download them for kid Sims for them to wear as well. I have to say, it hasn't had a lot of new stuff, I don't think, because I feel like I have this and I've had this in my game for years, but their back catalogue is pretty sturdy. Madlan, again, I don't really know if it's just because things haven't been tagged recently or if they just haven't done a lot when it comes to children recently, which is fine, but again, their back catalogue is so strong. Again, their CC kind of feels like slightly more realistic. I use a lot of like their kids stuff actually for more formal, just because I feel like it fits like the formal wear category. I know sometimes people don't like their kids feeling like they're just like mini grown-ups. Madlan is definitely a good place to look for kind of that more elevated like dressy suits and dresses, slightly more realistic than like Maxis Match just because of the details, but I absolutely love their stuff. Adrian Pastel, another creator, especially when it comes to like masculine CC, I am a firm fan of, has actually seemed to get more into stuff for kids recently. I will say, obviously, with this being a Patreon, a lot of these are like early access, so unless you are subscribed to their Patreon, you will just have to wait for the public release. But if you scroll down, there are some that are definitely already available. Not only like takes stuff that we see on like older Sims and converts it, but then also just adds like their own new patterns. Snatching this one ASAP because I love this shirt on adults and I know I'm gonna get so much use out of it. Casteru's Patreon definitely has an awful lot for toddlers, which is so cute, just seeing the little tiny pieces of clothing. But if you scroll through, you can definitely find some for children. These are both children. Sometimes they basically take their toddler clothes that they've created and then age them up, which is different because most of the time from the conversions that we've seen, it's been like adult stuff sized down. However, they do also do it the other way with like obviously taking the first kids kit, whatever that one was called, and aging it down to toddlers. More variety for all age groups. I'm gonna hammer it home every single time until the Sims team knows what we want. And again, conversions work the exact same way for clothing as they do for hairstyles. So every so often you can definitely find a needle in a haystack just by searching like Sims 4 kids conversions clothes CC. This is sforz CC's Tumblr, and they actually did a conversion of the grunge kit, which is so flippin' cute. Look at how badass these kids look. I can just imagine all the little like mini werewolves running around in this. You can just scroll through a couple of their downloads and you'll definitely see a couple of little things for kids. Not specifically a kids CC creator, but definitely some nice pieces on sforz. And then of course there is jius. I don't ever know how to pronounce it, but they make incredible shoes. I'm sure you've seen a ton of their shoes before in the past if you are into Max's Match. They've created Crocs in the past. They make really cute sliders. They also usually upload in collections as well. So like I said, even though there's only like 4 shown actually here, it's definitely more pairs than like 4 pairs of shoes. That's one thing though when it comes to kids. I feel like they don't get many accessories CC. There's not a lot of jewelry for them, which is kind of unfortunate because I feel like officially there isn't much jewelry for kids anyway. So I definitely think that that's something that custom content creators could take advantage of and kind of give us more earrings, more glasses, more necklaces, bracelets. There you go. If any of you are budding custom content creators, there's an idea for you. You could absolutely monopolize that. But I hope this video was helpful. I obviously was inspired to do this because I have over the years been doing my own like custom townie save file. And honestly, the kids, ever since I downloaded more custom content for them, have been so fun to give makeovers to. Like I said, I really enjoy like showing off their interests and their personality in the clothes that they wear, be it like maybe their favorite color and they wear like a lot of that color, or they really enjoy nature, so I kind of go for like that more nature theme with them. There are a ton of different ways that you can show off their personality when it comes to fashion, and obviously custom content and the incredible custom content creators out there are doing incredible work so that we as players get to enjoy the game just even more. So big thank you to all of the creators that I mentioned in this video. Thank you for your consistent hard work and also ideas. I am also going to have a link down below that will actually link through to every single creator that I've mentioned. Every single page that I've shown you throughout this video will be listed there. I know that I absolutely will be going on a little CC shopping spree after this. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If there are any other custom content or mod videos that you want me to do, going over some of my favorites, maybe checking out some of your favorites and reacting to them, definitely leave your comments down below and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.